Oh, that was good. Go us. Wait, make sure yours is on the right setting. Your microphone. Is it? Was it not?
Wow.
Well, we're here.
Well, we're here, and we are deep in holiday season. So here is a tree, a non-denominational tree at that. Just, for anyone of any denomination.
Sure.
Happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, happy Christmas, Merry even.
Or happy just Monday. Happy Monday.
You know what they say? Happy everything. Some people say happy everything.
I didn't know that people do that, but I went to Catholic school, and anytime people would say happy holidays, they would train us to be like, keep Christ in Christmas. and that was a whole thing. That was a whole talking point. It was you don't say happy holidays, you say Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
because it was the coming of Christ.
Yeah, like the Starbucks debacle. Who could forget?
Well, she's canceled.
Starbucks is also canceled?
We're boycotting.
We are?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Pioneer Peru.
And I'm Trailblazer Nick.
And this is Pioneers and Trailblazers. And we have had quite the weekend. A lot of updates to go around. And let me just start by saying thank you to all the listeners who really withstood the test that was last episode.
Right.
In which Nick and I had a heated discussion on life. To which I will say this: what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
No, and to which someone commented on the YouTube video, Nick's shores are really annoying the fuck out of me.
And to which I will double down.
To which I'm gonna say, sure.
Okay, Wilson.
No, sure.
Sure.
No, and I understand that, but also,
okay, Meredith Marks.
But also, oh my God, what did I do to you?
Listen, let me tell you, the one episode that I thought was gonna get everyone fully on Nick's side has been quite the opposite, actually. Because I don't know if you checked.
Did you look at the poll? It's Team Peru.
And to that I say, thank you so much.
And I would love to know.
Y'all.
No, and I just want to know, where did I go wrong? Where did I lose everybody? What was the point that made everyone go, oh, actually, we're on this bitch's side? What the hell?
I think people are starting to realize that, to me, there's transparency, and to you, there's secrecy, and we don't have to really get into that again.
I'm transparent. And speaking of, I'm going to talk about the weekend that I had. Transparently,
I want to talk about that, but let me tell you really quickly about today, because I actually had a celebrity run-in today.
With who?
So I was being famously creative, getting some writing done today. I cannot, really stay, in my home too much, in a creative mood, because I get distracted really easily.
Sure. Fuck you. Continue.
Sorry, they love me for now.
Yeah, don't let it go to your head. They're gonna turn next week.
They're turning. I'll probably say something fucking incendiary again today. Oh my God! Also, Miss Clover's here. Hi, Clover.
If you hear any chewing, just know it's Clover in the corner.
Chewing on Mr. Lobster. Okay. Anyway, so I was I needed to get out because sometimes I don't know if that happens to you. When you're in your room, it's easy in my ADHD brain to get sidetracked by everything else. If I'm trying to get some writing done or something, I look in the mirror and then I look at the laundry in the back and I'm like, oh my God, I have to do laundry. And then I look at my dog and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta do something. And then I look, so it's easy for me to get distracted.
Oh no, I just sit my ass on my phone. I'll just scroll on my phone when I'm supposed to be doing work at home, and I'm just like, oh right, I have to get to this eventually. And then I just scroll. And it's usually on a fucking app, a hookup app, trying to get dick.
Which girlies and animated figures, or some would call dolls. Oh, but I'm just saying.
I was animated figures.
Unanimated. Inanimate.
I'm a re-entered Studio Ghibli movie. What is going on?
Inanimate objects. We'll get to Dick and Cock more to make up for last week. But let me just say. So got to the little place in the Upper West Side. I like this place called Bluestone Lane. Something with blue. Not blue bottle though.
Oh, okay, sure.
Bluestone Lane, I think.
Manor?
Something. Bluestone Manor?
No, that's Dorinda's house. That's Dorinda's house.
I went to Dorinda's house famously today to get some writing done. And she did it nice. She made it nice.
I would love to just spend a night.
I would love.
Get drunk with her. Oh my God, it'd be crazy.
Her and Luann.
Well, Luann's sober.
Well, she could do a mocktail.
No, you're gonna be drink, bitch.
Drink, bitch.
You're come on, do the shot. Come on.
Oh my God! Speaking of people that were shouting out really quickly, can I just shout out to our my dear friend and also your acquaintance and friend Spencer, who famously started listening to the podcast today in episode 1. And famously was just wait, everyone got a shout out but me, and I was like, Spencer, let me just say, for anyone who remembers episode 1, Idea of a Dick, and I talked about my P-Town Dick Talk experience, the person who was responsible for me finding my phone really was Spencer. Because he's the one that texted us while I was knocking on strangers' houses. Go listen to the app. He's the one that texted saying, "Hey, Peru, your phone moved." So it was because of him that we saw that my phone moved.
Thank you, Spencer.
And to that I say thank you, Spencer, and shout out to Spencer. So I'm there getting some writing done, getting some lunch. You know, I was like getting, and then I was so just like focused on my writing and just getting stuff done that then like I go to the restroom and then I'm waiting in line and then I turn around and I'm like, who's this like burly, no, not burly, wrong description, but who's this like tall guy who's just like scruffy and just like manically like he was like drinking his iced coffee like he was like, you know, like think of, he was trying to look for something at the bottom of the mason jar. That's how he was drinking his iced coffee. He was like,
okay,
he was like just like really just like going to town, and I was like, who's, and then I was like, is that Miss Eichner? It was Miss Eichner.
We've talked about in the pod.
Famously, Miss Eichner, clipping this for socials. I like you. I would let you inside me for sure. But also,
oh, really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
In person, she gives.
No, in person. I mean, I've seen in person before a few times too, and like she gives. I don't know if I'd open up for her.
The thing is, in person, it does give this like top energy. Like he has like that kind of like almost angry look. He has like almost like an angry like bitch face.
I'm aware.
And so like when you see him and he's, you know, like definitely he's like what 6'4" or whatever. Like he's like a big guy.
Yeah, but she's tall.
And so I look and then like he was just like going to town on the ice coffee and I was like, and then I was like, okay, well from what I remember, again, episode 1 of the pod. Well, did I even talk about this? Oh my God, is Alex gonna kill me? Hey Alex, one of the pod. He interacted with Miss Eichner in P-Town. Did I talk about this?
No, did they fuck? Wait, did they fuck?
No, they didn't fuck. They didn't fuck. I will not be spreading lies in here. But they did interact, and if this is me doxing Alex's Grindr exchanges, and I'm so sorry, but this is in the past, and it's something that they just had exchanges.
Okay, sure.
There were exchanges. I did not see anything. Alex does not show any information. So for anyone who's freaking out, he did not share anything between their conversation in private. All I know is that they engaged in conversation and then they didn't move further. And so I was like, Miss Eichner is clearly on the grid. And so what did I do when I sat back down on my fucking table?
Open Grindr.
Didn't have any luck. But I did see him.
You should have just like walked up to the table and been like, oh, I douched recently. or you drop like at the bed and snap from like Legally Blonde where you drop something and you're like, I felt a breeze on my hole. It's like so clear.
And be like, oh, did you smell that? Is that nothing?
I don't smell anything
because I douche.
No, you go to the table and you're like, oh my God, I dropped something. Do you smell that? Smell what? Exactly. Because I douche.
Because I douched for you. Which, by the way, we talked about what we're going to be doing after this, and like we may be like taking turns douching.
Yeah, we do. We may have. I mean, I have tentative plans to may or may not have sex tonight because
same.
Wait, was that all the Billy Eichner story?
Well, let me. Can we go into you? But can I just tell you about my weekend too? Well, we both had parallel universes again. While I was doing something, you were going through something too.
Sure.
But anyway, yeah, that's it. I saw Miss Eichner.
Well, I was gonna say because we might be getting dick tonight because I had tried all weekend to get some dick.
We're back.
And
we're fully back.
No, I'm back. I'm back in a way that I've never been back before. And I've been so horny. And what did I do Friday? What did I do Friday? Oh, I saw Poor Things on Friday. So Friday, I made plans with friends. We saw Poor Things.
Apropos.
Which was super fun. It was great. Loved the movie. Thought it was really good. I think I gave it like 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. Miss Stone. She got a
double Golden Globe nomination. They be loving Miss Stone right now.
Oh, because of The Curse.
The Curse.
Well, I mean, rightfully so. Like her performance in Poor Things is honestly really. It's like one of her best performances. I will say. The trajectory that her character has from the very beginning to where she ends the movie is so like you just see the whole art. It's really good.
It's the whole premise that she has the brain of a baby.
She's the brain of a baby, and then she like over the course of the movie like grows into like an adult basically, and it's just like
big.
Kind of, but she's like a Lady Frankenstein. It's really really good. I recommend. But anyway,
I recommend if we're gonna do quick recommendations on movies, Monica. Y'all have to see Monica.
Oh, I still have to
with
see
Miss
that.
Trace Lissette and Patricia Clarkson.
Yeah, good.
Do Monica support? She did not get a nomination for the Golden Globes. I still hold on to hope.
But still a film independent spirit.
Yes, but also like there is this is the moment for, you know, like trans roles played by, you know, trans people to get recognized, and this has not only the prestige from the performances involved.
Sure.
Adriana Barraza, who's also an Oscar nominee, the first Mexican American Oscar nominee in a supporting role. Salma Hayek was the first Mexican American in a leading role, and she's also in the movie. People forget. Patricia Clarkson, Oscar nominee. Tracy said could change the game. The Academy has been known to make weird, you know, like out of the left field surprise nominations.
Last year was Andrea Riseborough, and she had that whole campaign that was like in like grassroots, whatever.
Grassroots campaigning. Some other people call it something else, and honestly, I commend her. She got her nom.
Good for her. But so poor things, horny out of my mind the whole time.
Yeah, Emma Stone got you stoned.
No, and I was at the Regal in Union Square, which I haven't been to that Regal in literally years.
They're boycotting Regal.
Huh?
They're boycotting Regal.
Are they boycotting Regal?
Just kidding.
Oh my god, I was like, oh. And I would have known. But I haven't been to Union Square in a while. And Union Square, me and Union Square, there are a lot of daddies there that we have good memories, you know? Because I used to go to school around there.
Yeah.
Crickets. Absolutely. That movie is 2.5 hours long.
A lot of daddies there too.
Oh, exactly. The ones that are into the twinks. And so I let my apps bake on my phone during the entirety of the movie, which means I just kept the apps open so I could receive messages and nothing, absolutely nothing. And then we ended up leaving the movie, and then we went back to my friend Bobby's apartment, and we just like hung out, watched a movie, and like drank some like seltzers or whatever. And then I was trying to set up something for afterwards. Again, nothing. I went home Saturday, the whole day. I had plans. So I loosely made plans with a person that I've like hook up with every now and again for Saturday during the day. Randomly just stopped texting me. Randomly just stopped responding to me until today. And then I was like, okay, whatever, fuck you. But he like made a big deal. He's like, oh yeah, you can come over and we can like hang out and I'll fuck you. And I was like, yeah. Didn't happen. And so then I end up going to the gym on Saturday. And then again, I'm horny out of my mind. And then what did I do Saturday? And then I basically spent the whole day in my apartment, just like hung out, like watched a movie, smoked, whatever. But I had a lot of energy, and I was like, I'm bored, like I want to do something. And my roommate.
Why didn't you text me?
Well, you were going to that drag show, and I didn't want to spend money on it.
Oh no! See, I did invite you.
You did invite me, but I wasn't gonna spend. I also didn't want to spend like $35-$40. Couldn't have the money. It was
$25, and let me.
You told me it was $35.
No, I literally did not say that, Nick.
Oh my! Okay.
No, I did not say that.
Roll the tape.
Which tape? It's not recorded.
My memory, because you literally in
your white bitch memory.
No, literally in Kochek, you were like, oh, do you want to come?
Oh, you're hurting me.
Yeah, because you're lying. because you want to know why I'm hurting you? Because you're lying.
No,
you're
lying.
No, because I literally asked because you were like, do you want to come to the show? And I said, oh, does it cost money? Is it a ticket thing? You're like, yeah, it's like $30-something.
I don't think I said that, but either way,
you did.
But
I remember
either way, freaking. Oh, so Miss Nick is happy to go support $21 plus taxes and whatever fees at the Regal in Union Square, and then not wanting to support the local queens.
Well, who
need to get paid.
No, because I was supposed to spend more money because I was supposed to go see Titanic. I was supposed to rush that with the friends that we went to go see Poor Things with, but we couldn't get rush tickets because it whatever.
And that would have been more expensive than a drag show, mind you.
But then we went out to dinner after the movie. I forgot about that. We went and got dinner, and then we got drinks, and then I ended up spending way too much money this weekend. Like I really should not be spending money this week, but I digress. So it was a good thing that I didn't go because I would have spent way too much money. But anyway,
so my roommate he doesn't support local theater.
I do. I literally went to that show with you the other night, and then I got incredibly ill and sick. You think I did that? Remember? Literally last week we talked about it.
Miss Pixie.
Yeah, Miss Pixie, which love and support her. Anyway, so Saturday. It's like I can't remember. It was like 9 o'clock or whatever, and my roommate comes home and she like brings 2 friends home, and they just like we're gonna hang out or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so then I watched a movie. What is Clover?
Oh,
sorry, Clover's interrupting.
Clover
just like tapped my shoulder. Was like, hello, I need your attention. No, so I watched a movie. I watched like in the living room or whatever, and then my roommate was like, oh, is it okay if like we hang out in the living room? I was like, oh my god, go ahead, like it's all yours. So I go to my room, and then I'm horny as fuck, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna try to secure some dick. I tried to secure dick all fucking day. Again, literally, like I was gonna go. You mean I wasn't gonna host? I was just gonna have someone come over. I was gonna go to them, and so then I'm like going through like all of the apps. Like the whole day I was trying to secure something, and then I like made loose plans with people, and then one by one they were all kind of falling through, or like they weren't online or whatever. And so I see that I never responded to a message from this guy that goes to my gym, who I have seen plenty of times before. And I saw that he had hit me up once on Scruff, and I just didn't respond because he gave me weird vibes at the gym. Like just like watching him like walk around, I was like, there's something like a little bit like weird about him. Not in like a bad way.
But like elaborate on that. Like what made it weird? Like what was his behavior? Was it the way that he was looking?
I think it's just like
the way that he was working out.
No, I think just like his energy, like the way that he carried himself just reminds me of a lot of people that I remember from high school who like are very not like nerdy, but not there's anything wrong with that, but like in a very particular way that's almost sort of off-putting. I don't know how to describe it, but he's in his like mid 30s, and
like you wouldn't be surprised if he was in a Netflix documentary in 2 years. That kind
no,
of vibe.
not that. He's just like, it's just you might get the vibe as I continue to explain the story, like what happened. But so anyway, he'd hit me up before, and I just like didn't respond. But he's like got a nice body and like whatever, and so his pictures, like he looks better in pictures, unfortunately.
Can we just, that's the thing, can we just like acknowledge the fact that like so many times in this podcast, the way that we're describing like our hookups, we're like blah, 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 but the body was good, the body was
I know, it's so
and
awful.
we're like,
it's so awful.
like listen, like I mean I've had sex with like a plethora of body types and whatnot. Like
I was attracted to. There was an attraction. There was a level of attraction,
and
there.
that's what I was trying to get at. It's just like sometimes like, and I know people do this on Grindr or like any of the apps.
Oh God, what are you gonna say?
Particularly Sniffies, because like all you're doing is judging it by like what it looks like.
You're literally like going to a
judging
fucking meat market. You literally are just showing off your genitals and be like, "Who wants it?" And then you go, "Me, I want that one. I'm hungry."
It's at the meat market.
You're literally like, "Oh, is that an 8-ouncer? I'll take that. Thank you."
Yeah. And so like we're putting so much value on body parts specifically, and then like I'm a person that like
completely disregarding the value of the person themselves.
But not even that.
I mean, like, truly, it's like, he's weird. He's but the body.
But let's get superficial if we want to be superficial. I'm a person that like puts face. Like I need to see the face. Mm-hmm. And then body. Like
me too.
Because you can have like the hottest body, but if your face is not giving, and I'm gonna say it, if the face be ugly or the face is giving weird.
For me, it's someone's calling me.
Oh my God, who is it?
Who the fuck is calling me?
Oh my God, debt collector.
Is that debt collector? Oh my God, I'm gonna kill myself. It is. What debt do they have to collect? 212. I doxed the number.
Okay, so like Nick does this thing where like anytime he sees a phone number that's not like his, he Googles it on this like website.
Yeah, I reverse phone lookup because I think. Well, hold on.
You told me it was a waste of time to me to respond to trolls. It's a waste of time for you to like be looking at.
Oh, it's the NYU phone-a-thon. They're just gonna ask for money. Fuck them. Girl. They didn't.
How about they give you your money back?
They never hired me.
Because clearly,
no. I applied for a job my sophomore and junior year to work for that.
What kind of job?
Huh?
To do what?
The phone-a-thon, where you call people to ask for money for donations.
That's a job?
You sit in a fucking office and you just call and you go, "Hi, I'm a student."
You're greatly qualified for that.
No, literally. And then they didn't give me the job.
Wow.
And now they're going to call me and ask for money. Oh. I may forgive mama, but I never forget.
No.
But you were saying about uggos?
No, it's just like I cannot be having sex with anybody whose face I have not seen. So I have to this face, and I'm sorry.
Well, because that's burned me. I did that once, and it burned me before. It turned out to be a man that I had fully blocked on Grindr.
And that even too, it could be a person could be like 8th grade teacher. Like it just could be so many things. Like I want to see your face, and I hate it. Oh my God. You just unpacked something. I am so sorry, and we will continue with your story.
Yeah, because I got a lot to talk about.
Me too, but.
Well, mine's more important.
Wow.
I'm more special.
Wow.
Since everyone's not Team Nick, I have to be my own biggest fan.
You gotta make it salacious. You gotta make it fun. Get interesting.
Yeah, I gotta be on my side.
You gotta play the victim. But
I'm always the victim. What do you mean?
Of course, you're white. So, how do you feel about people?
Tired.
About people. How do you feel when people on the sex apps don't want to share their nudes? What is your take? Because hold on. Because I
understand.
I don't understand because logistically, sometimes what I ask for which is something that I also give in return, is I want a photo with your face on it, you know? And I understand that, you know, for whatever, if you work and if you do certain things like that, I understand. But sometimes we're just asking for like a picture of your dick, or, you know, I'm not asking for a whole pic. And sometimes I get sent that and I'm like, does it look like I want it?
It does absolutely nothing for me.
Nothing for me. But it's just like, I need to just see what I'm going to be working with. Like, I just cannot go just based on what you... Like, today, there was this one person who was just like, you're really cute, whatever, and I asked for more pics because he was just like a torso pic.
Sure.
And so I was like, okay, great. So, like, how about you show me more pics? And then show me full face and full everything. And then I was like, okay, great. So what am I working with? Like, what's down there? Like, I need to know. Also for, like, preparation purposes, you know? Like, I need to know what I need to work for. Or, like, you know... Justina, follow up. And so we'll work on it.
Yeah, we'll work on it.
But I need to know. And then he was like, unfortunately, I don't share nudes with his 8 point. He said he's 8.5 uncut and relatively thick. Now that is the title of the. So I'm just like, you have such a vivid description of your fucking dick. Just show it to me.
No, I understand. Okay, I can understand where they're coming from. Like, there's a certain level. There's a certain level of like. I mean, how can you really trust the person that you just started talking to on a fucking hookup app if you're going to share their photos with you? Because, I mean,
how many... your face is not on it.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, again, I can understand, like, it's your genitals. It's a very, like, personal, like, private...
genitals.
No, literally. It's like people... all treat the way that like their bodies differently. Some people are more willing to share what they have to work with others versus some people might be a little bit more shy or whatever. But I can also understand like if you're on a hookup app and a lot of these guys who like are like, not saying that like he's DL per se, but like there are some people who are like, the ones that are like, I don't want to share my nudes online. I'm sure it's coming from a place of like they're worried about their nudes being used and then like by other people or taken or spread around. So I can understand that because there's a certain level of trust that is required or like you have to kind of like allow yourself to have in order to like share your nudes with somebody and then just like hope that they're in like safe hands, especially if you just start talking to the person. So like I get that. I have hooked up with people who haven't sent me their dick pics before. So most of the time it's been fine. There have been a few times where the dick was really ugly, and then I saw it and I was like, oh, I wouldn't have come over if I had known. But it's like it depends on the scenario. But I haven't run into that recently. Most of the dudes will just share their albums with me, and I'm just like, okay, great.
Yeah. Well, then, so this person shared.
No.
Okay, you haven't.
I didn't get any news from him. So all he had was just his photos on his profile, and like all I did were my photos on my profile, and so that he had messaged me, and all he said was, "Hey, what's up?" And that was like back in
that's sex,
Mama. That was back in April. So 8 months later, my ass goes, "Not much, just chilling, watching a movie. How about you?" He immediately responds and was like, I'm on my way back from Julius right now. We just like met up with a friend. Like I'm on the train. Like, what are you in the mood for? Like, you want to get a drink? You want to like?
What is this again?
The guy from my gym.
No, where is this?
Oh, Scruff.
Oh, Scruff.
So then I was like, he's like, oh, do you want to get a drink, or are you in the mood for fun? Like, what are you looking for? And I was like, oh, I wouldn't be opposed to having fun. Like, I literally just wanted to like go to his apartment, suck his dick, and then leave. Like, I just wanted to suck a dick so bad. And then he was like, oh, okay. He's like, would you like want to like maybe get a drink, or like would you like want to come to my place? I was like, oh, I'll come to your place. And then he's like, okay, I'll let you know when I get off at the stops. And so because he lives by me, and so then I was like, okay, cool. I was like, let me know. So then he gets off at the train station and then messages me like 15 minutes later, and he was like, just got off the train. He's like, why don't you meet me for a drink at, and then names this bar in our neighborhood. And then I was like, oh, and before I could respond, he goes, I'll meet you there in 10 minutes. And then I was like, I didn't want to go buy a drink. I just wanted to go to your apartment and suck your dick and leave.
Well, which again,
and
if I'm gonna be devil's advocate, maybe he just wanted to make sure that that you were the person and that the vibe is right. Like, he literally
in one of the messages that he like said when I like finally responded to him, and he's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you up to? He's like, oh, I recognize you from Blink. He's like, I've seen you at the gym all the time. So like, he knows it was me.
I mean, hey, if we're gonna be on the people's side who don't want to share their news, then we gotta be on the people's side who like want to meet up before they come to your house.
No, but he was like, he gave me the option of like coming to his apartment. He's like, oh, you pick, and I picked his apartment, and he said,
and then he was like,
no. Let's do the drink. I was like,
so hey, I was like, it's his place.
I was like, well, if he invited me out to drink, maybe he'll pay. So I go, I go to the bar. It's a 10-minute walk from my apartment. I get to the bar. It's fucking busy. It's so busy. And then I get there first. I beat him. I don't know how that happened because he messaged me as soon as he got off the train. And then he finally comes and shows up and he's like, hey. And as soon as I like see him in person and like we like interact, I like, oh no. I was like, I need to leave. I'm not into it. And then
okay, number one, what was it? Like, what was the first thing you noticed?
Just like his energy. Like, it's just like very like, it was very, I don't know how else to describe it besides like kind of mousy and like, but also, he was also like really pretentious. He was like mousy and like really pretentious and like he's like old, like he's in his 30s.
How?
I don't, he's like, so he works in film. So he works in film and like, so he's like, we were talking, that's how we kind of like bonded. Like when we were having our conversation, we mostly talked about movies the whole time because that was really the only thing that we like had similar interests in. But like he's just like very pretentious, and then a lot of the things that I would bring up, he'd be like, oh my god, you're so young, like you don't know this.
Oh, okay, I see.
And so then I'd be like, okay, yeah, like no, I don't know that. But anyway, so we go to,
I want to see him.
I'll show you the picture. You're going to be like, okay. So we go to the back patio at the bar. So we get to the back patio. He's like, oh, what are you drinking? I'll get the drinks. And I said, okay, great. So I got my whiskey Coke. He goes and gets them and I hold down the seats. Cause again,
your classic order.
Yeah. And it was really busy. And so like, I like was holding these seats or whatever. He comes back outside. He has the drinks, whatever. We sit down and we chat and we're chatting for a bit. And then, I finished my drink and I only was going to do the one drink. Cause I was like, first of all, I had smoked all day. I was high already. I was like, I don't need to get that fucked up. Also, like, I just want to suck dick and leave. And so then he finishes his drink finally and he goes, oh, are you going to do another? And I immediately just went, oh, I'm good. And then he goes, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, like if you want to do another drink, like feel free, go ahead. And then I was like, that's fine. We can like wait if you want to do another drink. And he was like, yeah, but like if you were going to do another drink, then I'd say then like you could go and get the next round.
Okay, let's process this.
Okay,
let's process this. Flashback to what happened last week on the app, where we discussed the social dynamics of buying things and buying things in return.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming he got the first round.
Right, he got the first round, and I understood where he's coming from. But the way that he went about saying it, he was like.
So it was his delivery. It wasn't just like, oh, okay, I got last round. Do you want to get this round? And then maybe you could have been like, well, actually, I don't want to have one, but like I'll get you one for sure. You know.
No, or I would have been like, I can just Venmo you for my drink, or like whatever. Yeah, but
it's just in the delivery. He was probably just like being weird about it. Okay, can I give you my assessment so far?
Sure.
It just sounds like he was hanging out with Julius. It sounds like he may have already been on the tipsy to drunk scale.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that okay.
He kept.
So I think before you could finish your sentence, my assessment is that he was at that place where he just wanted to keep drinking, and so he's at that place where you're almost drunk, so you just want to keep going. You just want to keep hanging out. And so he was like, I want to meet this guy at the bar because I want to keep drinking. Then see.
Sure.
You know?
But he kept reiterating.
Did that make sense?
Yeah, but he kept reiterating to me the whole night that he wasn't drunk. He was like,
well, and that's
no. He was like,
exhibitor.
No, he was like, I don't. He's like, honestly, it's like crazy. I don't feel anything. He's like, honestly, he's like the drinks. He's like, I've been drinking. Like, he's like, I can't remember what he said, but he was like, I had 2 drinks at Julius before I got here, and then so he did the one drink. And he was like, oh, I would do another one. And then he's like, well, if he did the whole thing where he's like, well, I mean, if I was gonna, you were gonna do one, then you could get the drink, or whatever. And then I literally was just like, okay, I guess I'll get another drink then. And he was like, really, you're gonna get another drink? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, sorry, did I make things weird? And I was like, no, it's fine. I'll just get a drink, whatever. It's fine. So then I like went and got drinks. No, I went and got the drinks. I came back, whatever. We had the drinks. I finished my drink, and then he finishes his drink, and then he goes, "Are you gonna do another one?"
He's
no. That. And then I was like, "No, I'm done." And then he goes, "Okay, I'm gonna go get another one." And then I was like, okay, like sure. So then he gets a third drink.
Nick, I'm starting to get anxious about how this.
No, and then so he's like, I'm gonna get another drink. I was like, okay, great. And so then so then he comes back, and again, like there's no like sexual tension or chemistry between us at all. Like there's nothing happening. There's absolutely nothing. And then he comes back with his third drink, and he goes, okay, so I'm just gonna drink this really quick, and then you want to go back to my place. And I was like, honestly, I made it this far. I just want to suck the dick and leave. I was like, I'll suck the dick. It's fine. And then I said, sure, fine. And then he goes, okay, great. He then proceeds to take the longest ass time to fucking finish his drink. And then he finally finishes, and then we get up to leave, and I was like, finally, we're leaving. Mind you, it is after midnight at this point. Like, it's already late, and I work the next day. I work a double the next day at 10 a.m. So I was like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, we're going to suck the dick, we're going to leave, and we're going to go home. We're going to get an Uber. At this point, we're going to get an Uber because we'll get home. He was like, okay, he's like, I live around the corner from here. I said, great. And then he goes, okay, but I'm going to pee really quick first. And I said, oh, okay. The line for the bathroom was absolutely insane.
What was this?
I'm not gonna say because it's like I'm not gonna say it. I'll tell you afterwards. It's because it's like really close to me, and I go there quite frequently. I don't want it. Whatever. And then we might go there for my birthday. To be quite honest, we could go there for my birthday. But then anyway, they were like, it's a single stall bathroom, and so then the line was so fucking long. I was like, bitch, you live around the corner. You can't hold it for a block to piss. And he's like, no, I have to pee really bad. And I was like, okay. So then we waited like an extra like 15 minutes so he could fucking piss. And then mind you, I'm just getting annoyed at this point. And so then finally he like comes out and he's like, okay, let's go. And then we go to his apartment. We get to his apartment. We get in there. And then whatever, he like welcomes me. And as we're about to walk through the front door, he goes, you're not allergic to cats, are you? And I was like, I am. And then he was like,
no, please. If it's another random pill, Nick.
No. It wasn't. No. He did not offer me. He did not offer me. He goes, oh, I'll just kick the cat out of the room. And I was like, okay, like short, chill.
Okay, quick side note. I did have sex like 4 days ago with this guy who came over here, and I did forget to tell him that I had a dog. And
tell people you have animals.
I know, but the thing is like, again, I never really host.
Sure.
So it was one of those things where like
we should start a counter. We should start a counter on our videos. Every time I say sure, it goes up one. Just because that person commented that. I'm sorry, that's gonna bother me all day.
Wow, you're really stuck on that.
No, I've never had a hate comment like that before.
Yeah, but you're the one who's just like, hey Peru, don't engage. Hey Peru, don't whatever. And I'm like, I'm gonna engage. Like I don't care. But then like, don't let it get to you.
No, I'm taking advice. I'm taking a page out of your book. Engaging.
Okay,
engaging.
So you should respond then.
I'm responding now.
Oh wow, damn.
So then anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Hello.
Oh, you weren't done.
No. I said quick pause because this made me think of something. Oh, the dog thing. Like, is that so necessarily rude? Like, it's all about like being considerate and like letting people know or whatever. But I don't think it's like rude to be like, oh, I'm not talking about this guy because this guy sucks already, and I can already tell the whole drunk situation. Like, Mama girl was drunk, lied about how many drinks had Julius, just wanted to get fucked up before having sex because maybe he was insecure or he was feeling weird about his performance. I already know this person and I can tell. But it is, I think it's okay. Like, that could have been a good out.
I know, and I should have, but unfortunately I was so horny. The horniness, like,
I get it.
It was really overtook me in a way that I haven't had in a while. And so we get into the apartment, and then he was like, okay, he was like, he got into his room and he like started like taking his shoes off or whatever, and then he goes, oh, I'm gonna go take out my contacts really quick. And I said, okay. So he goes to the bathroom.
Not that.
So then, no, I know. So he goes into the bathroom, he's taking out his contacts.
He didn't want to see.
So
he didn't want to see your hole.
No, and I'm standing in the middle of this man's living room. I'm just like looking around his apartment. I'm taking a look at his like movie collection, and then all of a sudden the front door to the apartment opens. And his roommate walks in, and mind you, this man is fully in the bathroom, like taking out his contacts. So like, it's just me standing in this apartment living room alone. I've never been here before. He steps in, and he goes, oh, hi, and then all of a sudden I just hear from like the bathroom just go, oh, that's my friend Nick. He just came over to hang out. And then this guy's roommate was so drunk, and he was like, oh, I had such a good night, bro. And like they were like having a conversation and stuff. And then I was like standing there the whole time he comes out, and the two of them are just like kind of kikiing in front of me, and I was like, okay. And then finally he comes back to me and he like smacks my ass and he's like, let's go back to my room. And I was like, finally. So we go into his man.
But not him smacking in front of his friend to like assert dominance.
No,
like, hey,
honestly,
a piece of ass.
Honestly, at this point, like, I'd lost every shred of dignity. I'd lost every shred of dignity at this point. So I didn't care. I was like, let's just get this over with. So then I go, did you fuck up again?
No. I clicked it. I
okay.
felt it click.
Okay, she fucked up her mic, just so in case anyone was wondering what that was.
We're back.
So then we go into the bedroom, and so we're in the bedroom, and then all of a sudden he just like, we don't even like start making out. He just like all of a sudden just like gets undressed and gets naked, and then I go, okay, and then I'm like on his bed like thinking there's gonna be some foreplay or whatever. He just like comes over to me and just like takes my shirt off, like takes my pants off for me, takes off my underwear, and then he just like starts kissing me for like all of 2 seconds before he goes, yeah, so I'm kind of drunk. I don't think I can fuck you tonight, but we can just kind of like hang out.
I knew it.
And I was like, huh? And then he was like, is that okay? And I was like, oh, sure. He's like, I might not get hard. Mind you, this man was fully rock hard the whole time. So then I was like, okay. And we like made out a little bit. And then I started going down and sucking his dick. And I was going to town. I was like, let's just make him come and I'll leave and then we'll call it a day. And then I'm like sucking his dick. And then all of a sudden he like pulls me up and he goes, let's just lay down. I spent the night. Because I literally, the next thing I know, he's turning off the lights and then he's like pulling me in to be the little spoon and he was like, okay, let's just lay down. And I said, oh my God, what? So I fell asleep.
To anyone who's watching this, who's not watching this, I have lost my mind.
So just picture this man who like, I'm not even into. I'm like, I have no attraction to whatsoever. The dick honestly wasn't that nice to begin with.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
What time was this?
At this point, it was like after 1 a.m. It was like 2.
Well, I hate to bring the receipts.
What time did I text you?
You texted me at 1:13.
Oh, so then it must have been like later than that. It must have been like.
Because what was 1:13 then? That text you said, girl.
I was at the bar.
You were at the bar?
Or I was just leaving the bar.
Mama. You were. That is. Okay.
No, but
intervention time.
Well, here's the thing. So the reason,
Yeah,
the only reason. Okay, so then I spent the night. But the only reason I spent the night was because the option was like either I just leave right now and be like, oh, I'm gonna go, and then him be like, oh, like, and just like, I don't know. I was also at that point like I didn't want to spend money on an Uber. I was like, if I just go to bed now, I'll wake up, I'll go home quickly, change for work, and then I'll just leave for work. So then I set an alarm for 8 a.m. Like while this, like he like fully passed out, like he drunkenly passed out, and so then I set an alarm for 8 a.m. and I lay down, and honestly, it was night. Like his like. It like we like he held me in bed and like whatever. It was nice. It like it whatever. It like it didn't feel weird. It was just like it just wasn't what I wanted. And then at 8 a.m. rolls around, the alarm goes off, and he was like, "What is that?" And got annoyed that I set an alarm to wake up at 8 a.m. because we didn't go to bed till like whatever time. He was hungover as fuck. And then I was like, "Oh, I gotta work the brunch shift." And so I got up and he's like, "Oh, you're leaving?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then I get dressed and he's like, oh, I'll walk you to the door. Meanwhile, roommate is fully home. He walks out of his bedroom butt ass naked to walk me to the door. He does not care whether I live or die. He's like, okay, have a good day. And then goes back to bed. And I said, okay, bye. And then I went home. Didn't even get dick. I didn't even get dick. And that's all I wanted. I went out and I ended up spending money on drinks. And I spent the night at a man's apartment who I do not like. And now, every time I go to the gym, I'm going to have to be worried if I'm going to run into him because I know his ass is going to come up and say hi to me. Yeah. It was a tough day. And then yesterday.
Blink gym,
girl. The blink. Girl, it is the most cruisy gay ass. Everyone says Equinox. No, bitch. Go to Blink. Go to a Blink anywhere. People get fingered in the bathroom. People be getting their dick sucked. Not you. People be getting their dick sucked in the handicap stall, in which I'm peeing right next to, and I hear it. But yet no one ever wants to. No one ever wants me to hang out. No one ever asks me to suck their dick to get. No one has to finger my hole in the locker room. No, I just have to. I have to buy a drink for a weird ass man and spend the night in his apartment with his. Oh, and do you know what? Right before we went to bed, he cracked open his bedroom door so the cat could come in. So in the middle of the night, mind you, his bed, like the way that we were laying, like my feet were hanging over his bed, and there were like the blanket wasn't covering. That cat had it out for me because he would come into the bedroom and then I would feel it walk under my foot and like brush its like the back of its body again, like its tail, whatever, to taunt me. And then I would move my foot and like try to kick it away because I'm like, bitch, I'm allergic to you. And then a couple minutes later, my foot goes back there. The cat's like, hey, bitch, that's my owner. He's mine. He was mine first, you slut.
that pussy said the boy is mine.
Yeah, the pussy said, girl, your pussy?
Pussy said.
Yeah, your pussy not this pussy, bitch. Your pussy's loose. Your pussy loose and ugly. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So anyway, so it was a huge flop. I might have sex tonight with a guy who's like a fan.
Well, listen, here is when you need to, again, I feel like, not that Nick and I have any difference in age at all. We're contemporaries famously. But I am the one with more experience and maturity. And I will say,
right, okay.
These are the instances, Nick, in which the girly in you needs to like wake up and be like, what do I do? These are the TV show moments.
No, but like the thing is, these are
the TV show moments in which you're like, hold on, let me go pee real quick, or let me go whatever, and you step outside and you call somebody.
Oh,
and then you're like, hey, Peru, I need you to talk me out of this. What do I need to do? I'm like, I'll order the Uber right now. This is one of those things where, like, in the future, just if you're sleeping at someone's place out of convenience, it's just like, now you understand that it's like sometimes the convenience is actually going back home late at night to sleep in your own bed and like not have to go through the motions of waking up and have this
but
awkward exchange.
Looking back at it, I mean even at the time it wasn't that like I wasn't like, oh, I don't want to do this. It's just kind of like I'm looking at, like, as it was happening, I'm like, this is just silly. I'm like, this whole situation is just kind of silly, and I was like, but I'm gonna keep doing it for the story. That's ultimately how I do most things. It's like the story of it is so funny. No, but the thing that I forgot to mention, I mentioned that like I smoke weed, which like it never got brought up or whatever, and then he was like, oh, I can't smoke weed, like it makes me too anxious or whatever. Mind you, hour later he was like, do you have weed on you? Do you have any weed on you?
He was drunk.
No, I know. And he was trying to bum some off of me. And I was like, oh, and I was going to roll a joint before I left just to have it. And thank God I didn't, because I know that this dude would just smoke my shit and then acted even weirder than like he was already. It's like, it's so hard to explain. It may not seem like he was acting that weird, like for people who are listening, but like you just had to be there. Like his energy was just like really erratic.
No,
and, like,
the reason why his energy was erratic is because Girly was fucked up.
But also I've been around him at the gym.
No, of course, he's just an odd person who like was.
So it's really, it was like, really
okay.
Exacerbated under the influence. And then when I was like, I didn't have enough time to roll a joint before I left because he's already like, oh, I'll be there in 10. Like meet me in 10. And I was like, oh, I don't fuck. Okay, like whatever. So I didn't have anything, and then he was like, oh, do you want to? We could go buy some. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna go buy weed with you,
girl. He was gone. He was fucked.
And then
up.
He was like asking me about the smoke shop that was like super close to the bar, because that's the one that I go to regularly. And he was like, are they good? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, do you think they'll be open? Mind you, it was like 1:30, and I was like, no, I don't think so. And he was like, oh, I just like really wanted to get a joint. And I was like, you literally told me that you can't smoke weed because you freak out. You fully freak out and have panic attacks,
girl.
And I was like, and I'm sorry, you wanna do that?
I've encountered plenty of these kind of guys. Let me tell you.
Anyway, I just need to suck a dick.
Last time that I encountered somebody who, I actually I don't even want to revisit it, because it was one of those things where it's just like, wait, like I'm fully like we talk about being present in performance and just being like, let's be present.
Yeah.
Like these are the instances in when you're like laying in someone else's bed and you're literally laying there naked and you're fully present and you're like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I given this a time of day? I actually haven't slept over at a man's house. That's not a friend, obviously. Like, I haven't slept over, I would say, in about 3 years.
Really?
I don't do it because I've had plenty of experiences in which I thought the convenience was, let me just stay here, let me endure this. And then the more you have these awkward exchanges with men sleeping over at their place, you realize that, like, you know, all of us as fucking like people, like we have such an intimate routine and like how we like to go to bed, how we like to wake up. Like we have our specific set of things that we like to do in order to feel like we're at home, or like we feel like we're safe in like a safe environment. And I was like, nobody ain't disrupting any of that for me. Like I will leave some dude's fucking home at 4:30 in the morning, 5:30, as long as I can fucking go home and wake up in my own bed and take my contacts out in my own contact case lens. The amount of fucking contact lenses I've taken out and I've put in like random glasses. Like glasses from some random. I've put my contact lenses in coffee cups. I've put like it's like, yeah, not even using contact lens solution. Like using like eye drops. Like the amount of uncomfortable scenarios I put myself in.
Like I normally am the same way, where it's like I typically don't spend the night because I like to sleep in my own bed, but I will every now and again do it because unfortunately the times in which I will just spend the night is, one, getting home is going to be too expensive or too far. Like I don't want to have to, like, for the example from Saturday, he lives in my neighborhood, but like it is like a 15-minute walk from my apartment, and like I don't want to have to walk 15 minutes home at like 4 a.m. in my neighborhood because, you know, it's late and like, you know, shit goes on in my neighborhood, and like I pay attention to those kind of things, and so I just, you know,
girl, there was like a stabbing here 3 days ago in 137.
There was
whatever.
No, there was like a really like serious stabbing in like my neighborhood like not too long ago, and like the person obviously, like, rest in peace, like did not make it, but like it was like not very far from my apartment, so like I'm very like, I don't know, I'm very cognizant of like, you know, and also that happened at like 4 a.m. and, you know, so
yeah.
I'm like I'm not gonna go home at 4 a.m. and like,
yeah, but then like you're also in bed with a stranger.
No, and
I would rather pay $20 and get myself out of any strange situation.
Unfortunately, like I am in a place financially where I'm not
rich.
I'm not rich, right? But I'm like, if I can save the money, I'll just suffer in this man's bed. It wasn't that bad. I slept fine.
That is very true. I'm much more of a convenience person. I'm like, if that's convenient for me, I'll pay for it.
See, and like that's the thing. It's like I will do that most of the time, but sometimes when the budget is tight, I won't do that. And that was what it was on Saturday because I had spent so much money already.
Speaking of budget, while you were at this bar, mind you texted me and I caught the text. I don't think I was fully there. I was not fully present when you texted me. I was completely in a different place. I went out to that show, which was actually a really good show. I'm recording on my phone now, or else I would pull up the information so I can, like, whatever.
It was cute.
I saw the clips online. It was how the Grinch Stole Christmas, but like the drag version. And let me tell you, this is like it was well worth the fucking price because these drag queens were actually they were not only giving like a narrative, but they were also all three of them played an instrument. So there were drums involved, a violin, there were like all these, a piano. There were like instruments involved galore.
Okay, musician.
But the thing is, we got to the bar where we met before for drinks with Spencer. Hi, Spencer.
Hi.
With Alex and Tommy and them and Robert, bringing up Robert with the cats. And we went to the place, and it reminded me of last time that we talked about Pixie Aventura because the show was supposed to start at 9. We didn't start till 9:45.
Yeah.
Which was
drag queens.
A stretch. But the thing with that is that, like, of course, what do you do while you're waiting? You just get more drinks. So by the time 9:45 came, we had already had like 3 vodka sodas. We had already had a shot. Like we were watching the show like half in the bag. The show was over. I don't know what transpired. Went to Hardware afterwards. Danced Tina Aguilera. It was fun. At this point, we were still kind of vibing, and then it was. I don't know if Nick, like, I want to do this with you. Like, I want to get you out of your comfort zone like that because, like, there's nothing that I love more when you're going out with the girls and the dolls.
I take a deep breath. It's okay.
I love going out and when you're on the dance floor, making eyes with somebody, and then you make a 5-second decision where you're like, I like you, you like me, let's make out. And I had one of those
that instances. Has never happened to me.
Oh my god, Nick, which is why we need to go out and dance more. Like, we haven't gone out dancing actually ever.
No, we did once.
Well, oh yeah, that one time for that birthday at Pieces or Playhouse.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Playhouse. It was Playhouse.
It was Playhouse.
No, it wasn't Playhouse.
It was Industry. We went to Industry to go.
There was
Industry.
No, but there was a different place we went to because I remember it was over the summer. It was like spring, summer, and like I think it was for Pride. But I can't remember. We were in the West Village.
Stonewall.
No, it wasn't Stonewall. We've been to Stonewall before, but I can't remember where we were. But I remember it was really crowded. It was really, really crowded. And then neither of us got drinks. And then there wasn't a whole ton of room to dance. But it was like the ceiling was really low. And there were like a bunch of just like, I don't know, gay people, which is like how most gay bars are. But like, I can't remember where it was. But we did go out dancing one time.
Yeah, but I feel like, yeah. So, see, I want to revisit that before the holidays. I feel like we should definitely do that. Maybe tonight. Who knows? It's Monday. It's musical Mondays. It's not really, like, crazy tonight. But
we'll make it crazy. I was like a dick.
I know. Like, I'm in the mood. And, like, that really, because I really have been, like, really zeroed in on just, like, my creative pursuits. And, like, I've been trying to, so I got digged down by another short king, 5'6", who came over and was allergic to dog hair. And I had no idea. And I was like, wait, by the way, I have a dog. And then he was like, oh, you have a dog? And I was like, are you allergic? And he was like, yeah, but it'll be okay. Like, I might just be itchy. And then the entire time, he wasn't itchy, which was good.
Oh, good.
And he's like a bartender in the area. But, like, that gave me, you know, so that just, like, really, like, ignited again the fire in me. Because I only had sex once last week, which is, I guess, like, a low for me.
I didn't have any sex last week.
But, well, you had a good interaction. Let's say that.
I slept in a man's bed. That is the extent of what I did.
Hey, the Victorian dolls would love that. But what I'm saying is,
they would have called me a slut and stoned me.
Well, dancing at hardware and making out with this guy who was so cute. Had a cute little scruff. He was wearing like a white t-shirt and he was like giving like, you know, like skater boy with a scruff. Like, I like that. And then we were making out, and you know, it really feels so nice sometimes just to make out with a boy. Like, it brings out the, like, the teenager in me just being like, I remember when
the magic.
But it is true though. Like, if I'm gonna be Nick for a second, I'm gonna be a romantic for 2 seconds, and I'm gonna say that, like, I really do miss that. Like, I remember, like, I told you about Fabio from one of the episodes.
Never forget.
And, like, I remember, oh my god, I remember, like, Miguel and Christian. I remember Cesar, who was my next door neighbor, who I, like, forced. Well, I didn't force. Okay.
No. Be careful of what you say next, babe.
Listen, I didn't force. I'm just saying, like, we were all teenagers, and I was like, hey, like, you know, do you want to try kissing? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, come on, let's just do it.
And you're like, come on, kiss me.
And then he kissed me, and then I remember.
Wow.
No, but I remember.
You groomed him.
I didn't groom him. You can't groom someone your own age.
You can.
When you're a freaking kid in South America experimenting, the only gay person in the neighborhood, that just means like I was
groomed. You're the only gay kid. You were grooming all the straights. Mama, you said you've never kissed a boy before? Come kiss me.
I was like, gays can groom. Title of that, gays can groom.
And trust and believe they do. They trust and believe they do.
No, but also it was a sweet moment because it was a moment of real tenderness where, like, my friend Cesar was... He was my best friend in my neighborhood, and he was straight. And I could tell that, like, as we kept
tragic.
It was actually I might get emotional about this, because it was a moment when I turned 13 that, like, I was in Peru, and this is right before I moved to the US. This is like right before I turned 14 and I went to West Texas. It was a moment in which I realized that, like, we were growing up into, like, you know, like teenagers and whatever. And it was the moment I realized that he clearly wasn't gonna grow up into the same circles that I was gonna. It was a very big moment for me in my life, because I was like, oh, Cesar is probably not gonna be like best friends with me anymore. Like, once we both turn like 15, 16, we're gonna have different social circles.
So
say, well, I mean, stop making fun of it. Like, Cesar was
real.
Cesar was like a jock. He was like the all-star soccer player. He was like the soccer all-star in his, like, in the school La Salle. Shout out to La Salle. And I was going to Colegio Internacional, and I was like struggling with my conversion therapy and all my dynamics there. And I remember I was just like, Cesar, like, let's just kiss. I was like, how about we kiss? We were at my dad's hotel, bougie. And then
you're like, I'm so broke. Support my dad's hotel.
Well, yeah, he doesn't support me. I haven't spoken to him and whatever. But
that we know of.
No, I don't. I'm not kept. But I'm not a nepo. I'm not. Listen, you know this. I'm
trying to remember that Prue's a nepo baby.
I make my own money. I do not rely on anybody.
She makes her own money.
Oh, shut up! Don't. You went to NYU, bitch. Anyway.
So, yeah, I'm in so much debt.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
I know, it's really not.
Anyway, to end that story, and I guess to like start wrapping up or whatever, to go back to the kiss, because it really meant a lot to me. We were there in the jacuzzi, and I remember being like, Cesar, like, should we go into, like, the bathroom? And, like, I was like, This is actually a really true story. This is actually a very true, intimate story of my personal life. So I am sharing with you on the pod.
Oh my God.
So I was like, hey, Cesar, like, should we kiss? And he was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, he was like, I don't, like, why would we? And I was like, well, like, I don't know. Like, should we kiss and, like, fool around? And then he was like, I guess. And I was like, well, like, if we're gonna do it, like, let's just do it here. Like, there was like a bath, like a big bathroom on this. Imagine like an outside, like, jacuzzi pool situation. There's like a bathroom, like a little standalone little,
Sure,
you know. So it was like no one's gonna go there. Like, everyone's, you know, there's like a brunch situation happening inside of the hotel at the restaurant. So I was like, let's just go there. No one's using this space besides us. So let's just go to the showers. And then let's just, like, fool around.
Oh my God.
So, oh my God, I'm actually having, like, flashbacks. So I was like, let's go. And I was like, okay, we're going to make out. And he was like, okay. And I'm making out with him. And, like, I was rock hard. I was, like, so turned on. I was like, oh my God, because he was cute. And he was also my best friend. And I was like, what an ideal scenario. Like, I'm going to marry my best friend. And what if I can, like, make my friend realize that he's gay. And then we're going to live happy ever after.
They never realized, mama.
They never realized. And, like, and I mean, he's clearly straight. And he's actually, I think, happily married now. And, like, I wish him
Ain't that always how it goes?
But, he went with it, and I will never forget that. Like, he kissed me.
He was.
we were like fondling each other. Like, I was hard.
He had
like,
a beautiful sense of play.
Beautiful sense of play. Golden Globe nominee, some would say. I think he should be giving a nomination.
Sure.
And I remember by the time we were done, I was like, "Did you like it?" And he was like, "Not really." He was like, "Okay, but." He did it. Like, he tried it for me. Like, he did all that stuff for me because he was my friend. And I know, but stop laughing. I actually resent that you're laughing. I don't like that you're laughing.
No, but like,
it's really rude, actually, that you're laughing.
No, I'm laughing because I'm just like, I'm thinking of like 13-year-olds just like having conversations like this, just being like, I don't know, being like, he did it. I don't know. I mean, it's very sweet.
Well, yeah,
and it's very sweet. No, and I'm not trying to diminish or like whatever. I think
you're looking up for those hate comments you're gonna get for not being sensitive to my story.
No, I'm just saying, like, sorry, I laughed. I didn't realize that it was. I just thought it was funny.
I mean, it is silly at this point, but like, it is like, I don't know. Have you, like, I never knew like a friendship like that to this day, to be honest. Like, somebody who, like, you know, you can't force anybody to be gay or straight or bi or anything, right? You just are who you are. And so, like, having the wherewithal at 13 that, like, your best friend is asking something of you that, like, you're not necessarily into.
Sure.
And for him to go along with that, like, the sense of...
But maybe I also think he was probably curious, too. You know what I mean?
Because, I mean, he was... At one point, he was... Because he was Hartina. No, but, I mean, he's also a guy, so...
Well, but also, like, I think of, like, growing up, my personal experience, there are so many, like... boys that I could have done that with, and they wouldn't have done it because like they were straight or whatever, and they just didn't. The idea of doing that was just kind of like, oh no.
Yeah.
So I think one beautiful, happy, beautiful memory, but also like I think like there's something to be said. Like maybe he's got a little bit of bi in him if he's like willing to. I mean, even like the willingness to experiment. Like there is something like about that. I mean, maybe he's just like very comfortable. I mean, as a 13-year-old, you don't have a whole ton of sexual experiences under your belt, I would hope.
Well, did we discuss this? No, really briefly, but like, you know, in Peru, we graduate high school when you're 15, latest 16. Whereas in the US, you graduate high school like 18 or 17 at the earliest, right?
Sure.
And so like when I was in Peru before moving to the US, you grew up in Peru at the same, you know, imagine an 18-year-old in the US, a senior in Peru is 15, 16. So you're growing up exponentially faster.
Sure.
So by 13, like people are already having sex, they're already experimenting a lot. Like I lost my virginity famously to two guys, Miguel Christian.
Yeah, we know.
And we haven't gone into full detail on that one. One day I will go into full detail on that one. But you know, so like I think at that point it was a sexual awakening for me, and like for him he was just I'm sure
it was an awakening for him in which he was like, oh,
I don't like this.
yeah, because I mean that happened to me with the foreign exchange student, because he was like, I mean, I hooked up with him and like I sucked his dick or whatever, and then afterwards he was like, oh, I realized that I didn't like that.
I didn't like that.
So it's like, you know what I mean, but the idea that like you could possibly be into it. He's got the bi gene, just like a little bit.
Who knows? And even if he doesn't, I just found that was very sweet, and I'll never forget that.
Very nice.
So he was a good friend. And
But I had a friend. I had a neighbor who like moved into my neighborhood when I was like
a neighbor that moved into your neighborhood.
a boy. He was a boy. He was my age. Well, also because like in my neighborhood at the time, all of like the kids that would move in were like really really young. Like none of them were like around my age. So like he was a boy. He was like a year younger than me, and he was gonna be in 3rd grade, and I was gonna be in 4th grade. And then we got like
cougar.
No, I know. Well, we became really good friends like that summer.
4th grade cougar.
I know. And then he was like a straight dude or whatever, but like we just like would hang out and like ride bikes together. And then literally the first day of school, whatever, one of the kids in his grade who did not like me and was just trash told him that he was like, oh, you shouldn't hang out with him because he's gay. And then he was like, oh, I'm not supposed to hang out with you. And then I was like, huh? And then our friendship was never the same, but I wanted to suck his dick so bad.
I've had one of those. His name was Mihail, the bully and then the guy who I was into, his name was Gonzalo. I had the same scenario.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you had a Gonzalo that you loved, and Mihail fucked up.
I mean, I didn't love him that much, but like it was just kind of like he was the only boy that was like semi-attractive that was in the neighborhood, and
it was nice to you.
And he was nice to me. Yeah, he hung out with me. That was literally it. He just hung out with me and my sisters, which was like fun, and we would just like ride around our bikes and stuff. But anyway, but yeah, then he didn't hang out with me anymore, and then he got like really really weird, like in terms of just like conservative like views, and then like uber masculine, and
a lot happened with us as children or teens in our bikes. Bikes were very formative for most teenagers.
Well, that's literally how I would get around everywhere. Cause
Yeah,
I didn't get my license. I was a late bloomer. I didn't get my license until right before I turned 17. So like I biked everywhere. That was my main mode of transportation.
Yeah, bikes.
I love biking.
Oh my god.
Do you have a Pioneer?
Yes, I have a fun Pioneer actually. Wow, that was. Oh my god, thank you for indulging me in that. That was.
Oh, you're welcome.
Even though you laughed for like 80% of it.
Oh my god.
Then I turned you around, and then you actually decided to talk to me as a friend, and not just like a person trying to be funny. I appreciate that.
Sorry that I'm also a comedian and it's my job to be funny.
Well, that was a moment for funny. That was a moment for just, like being a good friend and like a best friend.
You can always find moments of levity in every situation, I think.
Well, that wasn't the moment. But thank you.
Heard.
Thank you for turning around.
Yeah,
on that.
and you're welcome. And I'm such a good friend because of what? I listen. I took what you
After
said.
you laughed at me.
I took what you said. No, but I laughed, and then you said I didn't like that.
And I paid attention to your story. And I didn't laugh at you for sleeping over that stupid man's house.
You did laugh. Roll the tape. Roll the tape back. You laughed.
Anyway, my Pioneer is actually a song. I can't stop listening to it. No, it's not Tate McRae. Although I do love her song.
Kisses to my exes who don't give a shit about
You're
me.
obsessed with that song.
No, I'm honestly not. I'm not obsessed with the song.
Yeah,
I literally.
You would not roll the tape because you would not stop
it's stuck in my head.
Into it.
No, because it's stuck in my head. Because have you seen the clips of Miss Tate McRae performing at a gay club recently?
No.
She just performed. So she just performed that song at a gay club, and then the clips of it have been going around on Twitter. And listen, she is lip syncing. Like she's not even singing. Like she's not even attempting to sing.
No.
She's just dancing.
She's doing a Britney.
But mama, she dances, and she can own the stage.
Britney.
No, she can own a stage. So I give her props. And I listen to her album. A lot of it I don't vibe with, but there are a few songs where I'm like, okay, this is this is pop. This is pop music, and I love pop music. So like, yeah. I'll listen.
This is pop. This is cock.
Kisses to my exes.
Anyway. As everyone knows or may not know, I'm a big fan of K-pop, and I'm a big fan of a band called aespa. If any of you all girlies listening are...
I have a group of 5 minutes. Hurry.
What?
Wait, I have a group of 5 minutes.
Okay. So that's just that. aespa new song Drama. If y'all want to fucking bop, listen to aespa, listen to Next Level, but listen to Drama is their newest release. I cannot stop listening to it. I bring all the drama. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And the music video slays.
Slay. My trailblazer for the week is gonna be Emma Stone. I think Emma Stone gave a delicious, beautiful performance in Poor Things. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's really good. Mm-hmm. And I think Emma Stone is just like really one of like the great talents of our generation.
She's great.
Ultimately, like no, but like
did not deserve her Oscar, but I do believe that she should win an Oscar, but not for La La Land.
Yeah, I guess like if you look at her entire catalog or like her entire career so far, La La Land,
or the movies of that year, she was the least deserving. But sure, I like her a lot. Sure, actually,
sure. I'm a fan of her. Yeah, she probably should have gotten her Oscar for something else, but I think she's crazy talented and like.
Could have been this one.
I mean, she could still win.
But that would be stupid for her to give it 2 Oscars so soon next to
It's
each other.
not back to back. She got her last Oscar in like 2016.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she shouldn't have gotten an Oscar then. She should be getting an Oscar for something like this.
No, but like at that point though, she had already been nominated for an Oscar already, and like she didn't win that one. So this is like her second nomination, and like it's the whole political like
the stories for the female girlies are for men. They don't really consider men who are younger as much as they do the girlies, unfortunately. Which is why we should eradicate the fucking like gender categories.
And Mr. Bradley Cooper wants that Oscar. So
Miss Bradley. Really quickly before we wrap, because you have to go into your Zoom.
I know we really have to.
Thank you for everyone for listening. Please subscribe. Please continue leaving those reviews, because it's those reviews that get the things on the algorithm higher. So if you haven't left a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please do so. We appreciate and love you. And by the way, my surprise for you was gonna be like for next episode. There has been a suggestion from one of our fans who listens to the pod. Someone specifically wants us to give a review on poppers. So I feel like it could be really fun for us to do like a special episode next week poppers. And do like a little like review of like poppers. So
we're gonna have to go purchase a bunch of poppers.
You listen, we can. The whole thing won't be a much more than $25 together.
No, I'm just asking. We're doing it's like a wine tasting, but for
we'll
poppers.
Put it on a little budget.
Okay.
I think it would be fun, right? So, the fans, that's what they're asking for, and this person sending that video to our account, and like...
Oh, do we know the person, or is it just a random fan?
No, it's just a fan.
Oh, okay, good.
Not a random person, a townsperson.
No, I meant, wow. No, that's not what I meant. I meant a
just
person that we know.
I'm on your side.
I meant a person we know in real life, like a friend.
No, this is someone who's a fan of the podcast and a townsperson.
No, and we love our townspeople. And you can follow us on Pioneers and Trailblazers on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And then you can follow me at nicholas.rose on Instagram, clownfacebinch on TikTok, and clownfacebitch on TikTok. Oh, no, in Twitter.
And you can follow me at Hey Peru on Instagram and TikTok. No X for me.
Hey. Oh, you have more to say?
Oh, no. Just...
we gotta go. I mean, I gotta go.
We gotta go.
All right. Bye.